right. Well, thanks, Sarah, for being here. This is our maiden voyage or maiden episode of the Minnesota Music Note. So my idea really is just kind of bring musicians that have been in the community either for 3 days or for 30 years and just kind of learn about where they came from and why they're doing this and kind of where do they fit into the local music scene. So Kay and myself, for example, came to Minnesota in 2013. We moved from the Middle East, and over there we were in like every band. And when we got out here, didn't know anybody, and we tried to start like little bands and do little things here and there. It was very difficult to kind of navigate and find our way around. But then finally, we started connecting with, I guess, the right people. And now it seems like we know quite a few of the people in the local music industry. But it's huge, it's big, and produces a lot of really great musicians.
Yeah. I guess I don't know the extent of how big it is, but I can imagine it's a lot of people.
I don't either, but that could be one of our goals of this particular podcast, really, is just kind of explore the edges of it and see who's who.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated when, you go watch a band, like Kay and I used to like to go watch a cover band called Schizophonic. You've probably heard of them before.
I have.
And little did I know, but after like meeting a couple of other drummers, evidently the drummer Eric he's a recording artist and very, very successful in doing prog, metal back in the 80s, like post-Rush era. They were like almost the next Rush. And you don't know that when this guy's up there just playing four on the floor on on pop music all night long. You never know that this guy's like a Lamborghini sitting back there, just kind of holding back and kind of late. So that's really interesting. But there's a lot of musicians like that we meet out, that we go to like a lot of the open jams, and you never know. It could be somebody who maybe like myself, 45 years old, and plays on and off, not super serious musician, but then you'll meet other people you're playing on stage with, and this person used to be in some freaking major touring national band, and here they are the same Wednesday, hanging out on the same stage with you. It's so neat.
It is. It really is. Yeah, I started going to Mad Mike's when I got back into the scene, just because I hadn't been on a stage in a really long time. And I wanted to get my stage jitters out. So I started going to the Mad Mike's Funhouse Jam at Route 47 every Thursday. And I got into the network of musicians, and they're really great people. And we call it a jamily because we feel like family.
Yes, the jamily is a unique thing, but yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I wonder, honestly, because I haven't obviously lived in many other cities where I've been a part of the music scene. I wonder if the, jamilies exist elsewhere, if they have like these jams that go on, because it seems to be such an underpinning of the community here, because you got the Mad Mike's, which is on Thursdays. Now there's one at Shaw's on the third Thursday, because Mad Mike's is off that Thursday. So picked it up.
The Buglies.
Yeah. And then there's the Ziggy's Jam in Stillwater and Hudson. When that was actually where I got started, it was going out to those. No, wait, I think I went to Shaw's first, and then I went to the Ziggy's once, and it doesn't matter. But yeah, certainly met a lot of the musicians in town through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
I have not gone to Ziggy's, but I've been to Shaw's, so.
Yeah. Different group of people, but some of the same people carry over.
Some of the same people.
Different.
Go to all of them.
Different vibe, but yeah, some people that's what they do on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the week, is go find all the jams they can and
have fun.
Spend time in them. Yeah, it is good fun. All right, so I'm going to transition a little bit, and I want to ask you some questions and talk about your journey. You cool with that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, man. Cool. So, to start, can you tell us a bit about your earliest musical memories? Was there a specific moment or sound that first sparked your passion for music?
Yeah, so my mom had me in the 80s. I was born in 87, and she was listening to a lot of like 80s hair metal, but she'd pop in this Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction cassette in, and I think she also had it on vinyl, but she listened to it a lot, and it was my favorite Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. So I listened to that. I listened to like Michael Jackson. She got me into like Prince and all the 90s stuff, 90s alternative like Nirvana and all the grunge era stuff. But yeah, I guess my earliest, it would be my favorite would be Guns N' Roses. As a kid, as an 8-year-old, I'd be 8-year-old girl listening to that. So
That's awesome. So off of Appetite for Destruction, what was kind of the song that stuck out to you first?
Paradise City.
Okay.
I,
Okay. I've
I like
always
that
wanted to
one.
play that song. Everybody plays Sweet Child, but very few bands play Paradise City. That's a great song.
Yeah, yeah. So that one, and then what was the other one? Jungle, whatever.
Welcome to the
Yeah,
Jungle.
Welcome to
Okay.
the Jungle.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Those two were my favorite off of that. And then yeah, I got into, and as a teenager, I was in middle school listening to pop stuff, like Mariah Carey or Britney Spears or whatever was popular in the 90s. Spice Girls was a big thing in elementary school for me.
What's your favorite Spice Girl?
I think I always wanted to be Baby Spice. That was,
I don't have a favorite Spice Girl yet, so I'm still working on that.
yeah. And then as I got a little more into my teen years, I just switched the radio station and I heard rock music. And so I just started listening to the rock music on the radio. And it was kind of in the late 90s. So it was like, Limp Bizkit and all that new metal stuff. And Korn was my favorite. And then Marilyn Manson. So just like that really heavy stuff. Like Antichrist Superstar was the big, and Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson. That was probably one of my favorite CDs.
Oh, nice.
And then Nirvana's my favorite band. Kurt Cobain is actually my inspiration for learning to play guitar, even though he's not a really good guitar player. But he's a great musician and a great songwriter,
Right.
and I just really liked the songs that he wrote. But that's how I learned playing guitar, was learning Nirvana songs.
Well, I guess it's an easy road in, right? Yeah, because he's not necessarily the most technical guitar player, but in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of songwriting, I think Dave Grohl has said that, he just learned so much about songwriting from Kurt Cobain. And I think Billy Corgan said the same thing. Like, they were the two bands were always kind of head to head. Now all these bands that used to be very angry at each other are very happy and to talk nicely about each other. But I think Billy Corgan came out and said that, yeah, he wishes he had Kurt Cobain's writing skills.
Yeah. It's he's got a formula, the clean and then the distorted and then the clean, like the heavy and the soft and the heavy and the soft. And actually Kurt Cobain got that from Black Sabbath.
Hmm.
So and I was in a Black Sabbath tribute band too.
So I hear, yeah.
So but then yeah, and I guess so that's my earliest memories of music, to answer your question.
Nice. Those are great memories. How did you first get started playing music, and what instruments or vocals did you begin with?
So I had a friend who lived in Sanger, Texas, and he was a boy, and then we would just talk on the phone all the time. I guess he was, I don't know, my first boyfriend, I guess. We would just talk on the phone all the time, and he was playing guitar, and I thought it was cool, and then I just kind of wanted to learn. And there was this senior girl, her name was Sara, on the school bus that I rode, and she had an acoustic guitar, and I asked her if she could show me how to play some stuff on the guitar. So I went over to her house after school one day, and she just showed me how to hold the guitar and pluck the strings and press down the frets and just the basic stuff. It wasn't like a real guitar lesson, but that's how I really started getting into playing guitar. And then I asked my mom to get me an electric guitar for my 13th birthday. So she did. It was a silver tone from Sam Goody, like the Sunburst. Sam Goody. I don't know if you remember that
I
store.
remember, yeah.
It was just like a cheap, I don't know, $100, $200 guitar. So that's what I started learning on. And then I was learning Nirvana on it and whatever else I wanted to write make up stuff. So that's how I first started playing music. And there's other instruments that I can play too. I would always like, I guess as a young, small child, I liked to play the xylophone. And that was like really small, like preschool age. I had like,
Do you ever bust out the xylophone anymore? Go back to your very early days? No?
I would sing into this recorder that I had and just make up songs too. And I was always musical since I was little. So yeah.
It sounds like maybe your mom and playing the music in the background was a big influence on that.
Yeah, she liked to play all that 80s stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Who were some of your biggest musical inspirations growing up? And how have those influences evolved if you've developed your own sound?
Yeah, so again, Nirvana, and I really like industrial rock. So like Rob Zombie, Rammstein, Marilyn Manson, Ministry, just like that heavy, just really heavy rhythm guitar. I was in a band called Astro Ward back in like 2009 and 2012. But it was alternative rock, and I did all the guitar on that album, and I was the only, it was like a power trio. I wrote all the guitar and played all the guitar, but yeah, it's just like, I play a lot of power chords, just because I never had any formal guitar lessons, so I didn't really know a lot of the proper chords or anything. So if you listen to my album, you'll hear a lot of power chords, I guess. But I am technically a rhythm guitar, and I would throw in some random lead stuff in there. But it's a lot of, Kurt Cobain inspired, and a lot of that like 90s industrial metal sound that I really like. So that's kind of my influences for playing guitar,
Cool.
I guess.
Yeah, cool.
I like blues too. So like Jerry Cantrell and Jimi Hendrix too are big influences on me.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What does playing music in Minnesota mean to you? How has the local music scene influenced your artistry and career?
Oh wow. I just go with the flow. When I first moved to Minneapolis, the only person I knew down here was a friend that I worked with in Duluth. And so when I moved down here, I hit him up and he was like, "Hey, we should play music together." And so I brought my guitar over, and he was the bass player. He had like a 5-string bass, and he had like a 12-string acoustic at his apartment. And so I brought my guitar over, and we would just jam, not even trying to write anything, but it did turn into that. And his brother played the drums. So we, we just started playing more music together, and then we did start writing songs, and then we're like, we should turn this into a band and get a real drummer. And so it just kind of turned into this thing I wasn't even trying to do. It just did it on its own, I guess.
And how long ago was this?
That was in 2009 to 2012 was the band Astral Ward that I was in.
Okay.
And then after that, I quit the band, and I was not in the music for like 10 years. I started a family, and I'm a mom now. But after I had my second child, I had the opportunity to join a band. So I went and I auditioned for this Black Sabbath tribute band. Candace Wheeler put an ad out, and I answered the ad. She was looking for a guitar player. So I learned the songs. I went to the audition, and she's like, "Oh, I really like your vibe. I want you in the band." So again, that one I actually went out of my way. I really wanted to get back into music
Nice.
and find myself again after being away from music for 10 years. My heart and my soul was really pulling on me to get back into it, even though I just had a baby. It was just, I couldn't not. I had to take the opportunity, and I auditioned and I got in the band, and we were a band for like 4 years and played a lot of big shows, and it was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot of learning Tony Iommi's music. But again, that was something that just kind of fell in my lap. I feel like the opportunity was just, like I said, I just kind of go with the flow. What does playing music in Minnesota mean to me? It means just going with the flow,
Sure.
I guess.
I think a lot of us go through that, like us adult rock stars, we go through that period where we're like, oh, we got to get serious and do something else with our lives. And then you just realize that I can't not have music.
Yeah.
I think for many of us, it's just an invisible hook that just pulls us back in.
Yes, it was. It totally was. My soul was crying out for it. I felt totally lost without playing my guitar. But I tried to get back into it. But yeah, it's just the circumstances weren't really conducive to me at the time, but I eventually found my way back.
Good.
So
Welcome back, here to stay now, right?
I am. I'm definitely going to be in this scene for a long time.
Nice. All right, let's see what else we can touch on here. All right, here's an interesting one. What are the biggest challenges or biggest rewards of being a local musician in Minnesota?
All right. Well, challenges, I guess I'll start with that first. I've noticed that as a woman who's almost 38, or I am 38 now, but getting close to 40. A lot of the people that I'm meeting, I'm trying to I'm on a healing journey, and I notice a lot of people that are musicians in the music scene have a lot of mental health issues, and so I kind of have to keep myself protected and know who is trustworthy and who are healthy people to be around, so I don't get taken advantage of or get sucked into the wrong crowd of people. I just have to really know the people that I'm spending my time with are healthy, healthy people. Because yeah, that's the challenge. I guess for me is just seeing a lot of the unhealthy mentality or just the mental illness within the musician community. It's a big struggle, but and then the rewards, obviously playing music, it's totally fulfilling to my soul. I feel like that's what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a musician. There isn't any other option. So being on stage and playing for people and just bringing people into the present moment and helping them forget about their problems for just an hour is the most rewarding for me as a musician. So
do you think 93-year-old Sarah is still going to have a guitar in her hand?
if I can hold it, if I'm alive at 93, I will.
Awesome.
Yes.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to an aspiring musician who's just starting out and wanting to play music in Minnesota?
Don't beat yourself up if you can't get it right. Just keep trying, keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. You got to practice a lot if you want to sound good. And follow your heart. And I guess that's the best advice I can give. Just do what makes you happy and practice a lot.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, we always, all of us need more practice, right? No matter how much practice you've had, go back and practice some more.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and don't be a dick. That's my advice.
It ties back into the mental health thing.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Yes.
Beyond music, what are some of your other passions and hobbies?
I like painting. I do like universe galaxy paintings with acrylic on canvas. Those are really fun. Each one's different. I can't ever replicate it. Um, so I do that, and I do my sound healing business on the side. It's called Serenade Sound Healing. I just got into that. I have my certification in sound healing. So I do like crystal singing bowls and tuning forks. And I just feel like that was my higher powers calling. I was like divinely guided to do that. I was given a gift and I have to share that with people. So I also like to read a lot of self-help books. And just be a good mom and to my daughters, and try to be a good partner for my boyfriend, and be a good friend and a good influence on people, and always try to steer people in the right direction if they, want help or need someone to lean on. I'm always try to be there for them. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So last question. We'll wrap it up here if that's all right with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking ahead, what are your hopes and dreams for your music, both personally and within the Minnesota music landscape?
Um can I look at the question?
Yeah. It's the
Okay.
last one down there, number 15.
Okay. So I am starting a new band called Pink Taco with your wife. She's the singer.
Yes, you are.
Sabotage. This is going to be a good story. So Sabotage, broke up on New Year's Day because the drummer just decided to end it, and then the bass player and other guitar player decided to leave the band since Derek wasn't the drummer anymore. And so me and Candace were just kind of sitting there like, well, I guess that's that then. And I decided to just Rebel Queens was asking me if they wanted me to be their guitar player. And because I'm a mom and I have my children part time, I could not dedicate my time to being in that band since they were playing, sometimes 2 shows a weekend. And I just don't have that time available for me I would have loved to join Rebel Queens, but I couldn't swing it. So I had a dream one night that I was playing guitar with Lita Ford on stage,
Really?
playing cover songs. And after we were done, Lita Ford starts to leave. I'm like, oh, I want to talk to Lita Ford before she leaves, but I didn't get the opportunity to talk to her before she left. So I went to the bar. There was a piece of pizza sitting on the bar with a bite taken out of it. And I looked at the bartender and I said, who is eating this pizza? And the bartender said, oh, Lita Ford. I'm like, oh, she's like, you can have it though. I was like, oh, okay. So I started eating this leftover pizza from Lita Ford. And I just thought, oh man, in my dream, I was like, that's so cool. I'm eating the same pizza that Lita Ford ate. So stupid. I woke up in the middle of the night after that dream, and I had like this huge epiphany. I was like, oh man, I should start a cover band of all women. So all female cover band doing all female fronted bands that are rock and roll, like Alanis Morissette and Kitty, like that heavy metal band Kitty, or Evanescence or Hailstorm, just like, all that heavy rock, alternative rock, heavy metal stuff. And I was like, yeah, play that music. And I could name the band Pink Taco. And I was just like, that is too good of an idea. But I let it lay low for a little bit because I wanted to see, what was going to happen with Rebel Queens. So once it was decided that I wasn't going to be able to join Rebel Queens, I pursued my Pink Taco band idea. And
I have to say, when Kay brought that name home. I was a little shocked at first, but then I when I started thinking about all the merch ideas, I fell in love with it right away.
Yes. Yes, everybody's gonna want a pink taco shirt. I don't know, people are gonna be like, "Pink taco, we gotta check that band out." But,
Yep. The people will want to see it as soon as they hear about it.
yeah, so we had our first rehearsal, went really good, and, we got our second rehearsal at the end of August. So still kinda solidifying the lineup, but I'm hoping the drummer will be able to make a commitment to the band. So we'll see how our jam session goes at the end of August, but I'm sure she'll join. Who can say no to a pink taco, man?
Right. And you guys don't want to, you want to play big shows. You don't want to be too super busy, right? It's not about playing a million shows. It's about playing good shows.
I want to play good shows. I wouldn't be opposed to playing smaller shows or whatever. For me personally, it's just about the fun. I don't even care about the money, but I gotta have some pretty big players in my band that they're probably not gonna want to play like little tiny shows. So I gotta be mindful of that, I'm sure that we are gonna end up playing some festivals and special occasional shows. Hopefully we'll be playing in front of some big crowds or opening for some really big bands, but I don't want to put too many expectations on it yet. I just really want to just go with the flow and see where the journey takes me.
Go with the flow. That's the theme of this particular podcast episode, I think.
It
for
is.
sure.
It is.
But I believe there's big things in the future. I mean, the merch. I mean, I'm imagining a hat with like a floppy pink taco on top of it. You can just kind of whip it around. I'm going to design that for you guys.
Pink taco.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna. Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Well, thanks a lot, Sarah. Thanks for being my guinea pig and being the first guest on Minnesota Music Note. I kind of keep calling it musical, but it is musical, but that's not the name of the podcast, the Minnesota Music Note. So
Yes, well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be the first person to do the interview. That's pretty groundbreaking.
yes. So who's next? Who should I invite next? Who do you nominate as being my next guest?
Oh my gosh. I would say my boyfriend, Rob Perro. You could invite. He's been in the scene for a very long time. He grew up in Robbinsdale,
Did he? Okay.
and he's been in a lot of projects.
Nice. He'll know his way around.
Yes.
That's cool. Okay, cool. So you got to go home and you got to tell him that he needs to reach out, or I'll reach out to him. We need to schedule one. So
Yes.
the official next episode. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.